Hello everyone and happy Valentine's Day. My name is Miss Liz. Welcome to another Mini Mad Science Lab video. Because today is Valentine's Day, we are going to be conducting a special heart-themed science experiment called Fizzy Heart Science. So if you registered for today's program, you should have received a science bag that looks like this, which contains mostly everything you will need for today's experiment, which I will go over in just a moment. If you did not register for today's program, that is more than okay. You can, of course, as always, still follow along by using any materials you may have at home. So let's get started by quickly going over the supplies we will be needing for today's Fizzy Hearts science experiment. In your bag here, you will see you should have received a baggie of baking soda, a plastic cup, a cup of vinegar, as well as a box of candy hearts. Some things from home you will be needing include water. I just use tap water, so that's totally fine, as well as a mixing spoon. So today's experiment is rather simple, but still pretty cool to observe and see the reactions. So the first step that we are going to be completing today is filling our plastic cups halfway with water. And like I mentioned before, I use tap water, so if you want to quickly go fill up your cups halfway with water from the faucet, that should work totally fine. As you can see here, I have my cup of water filled already, so halfway does come up to about here. I use just lukewarm water, make sure the water is not too hot, yet also not too cold. So once you get your cups filled halfway with water, the next step is pouring our entire bag of baking soda into our cup of water. I'm going to point my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. And like I said, we're going to just dump the entire bag of baking soda into our water. We're going to stir. We want the baking soda to be almost dissolved. We want our water to look clear, or at least somewhat clear again. And after we have stirred, we are going to let this baking soda sit in our cup of water for about 15 seconds. So again, continue stirring until you feel like most of the baking soda has been dissolved. And now we're going to just let this sit for 15 seconds. All right, so mine looks pretty much dissolved. If I hold my glass up higher, I can definitely see through it. So it looks like it is pretty, mixed in pretty well as of now. So what we're going to do next is we're going to open up our candy hearts. We're only going to take a handful. We're actually not going to be needing the entire box of candy hearts, just, a handful. So after you get a handful of candy hearts, you're going to dump them in your baking soda and water mixture. But before we do that, let's quickly make a prediction. Right now in our cup here, we just have baking soda mixed with plain water. So once we throw these candy hearts in, what do you think will happen? Do you think they will sink to the bottom? Do you think they will sort of float in the middle? Or do you think they're going to rise to the top? Take a moment to just reflect on that and make a prediction. So I'm going to put my candy hearts in, and they have pretty much, well, all of them have sunk to the bottom, and you might be wondering why that is. Well, even though candy hearts are pretty light in substance, right now they're just sinking to the bottom because we only have baking soda mixed with water, and because there's nothing else in our mixture for the baking soda to react with, there's kind of really no other elements that are going to push around or move the candy hearts. So now let's see what happens when we add in our cup of vinegar. So you can pour your entire cup of vinegar into your cup of water and baking soda. Don't dump it too quickly. We want to just kind of slowly pour it in, because as you see, it's going to bubble up, so you don't want to just dump it because your cup will probably overflow then. And we already can see we have one candy heart that's already floating to the top there. So let's continue pouring and see if we can get all of the other candy hearts to rise to the top. Now I have three. Now I have 3 candy hearts that have risen to the top. And now it looks like some of them, if you can see in this cup here, it looks like some of them are even bobbing up and down. You can see here, some of them are jumping. All right, and that is all of my vinegar. It looks like most of the candy hearts have at least risen up at least one time. Most of them look like they're bobbing up and down. And as we are observing our reaction here, you might be wondering what is causing those candy hearts to float to the top and even to bob up and down. Well, that is happening because our vinegar is mixing with our baking soda and it's releasing carbon dioxide. And that carbon dioxide is causing the candy hearts to move forward. It's releasing that carbon dioxide in the water and it's causing the candy hearts to move throughout our glass of water. So again, a pretty simple science experiment for today, but a fun one nonetheless. If you want to add a little bit more to your science experiment, you can even stir around your candy hearts with your spoon, see what kind of reaction happens when you do that, and continue adding more vinegar. If you have vinegar at home, you can continue adding more vinegar to your cup and see how long you can get your candy hearts to continue bopping up and down. So again, a simple science experiment, but I thought it would be fun to do in honor of Valentine's Day. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you learned something new today, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye-bye.